Dear students, I am Pinas Kavrana. Today we are doing the second chapter of history, that is from trade to territory. Now with this chapter we will be understanding that how Britishers they entered our country, how they started ruling our country for around 200 years. So for that we need to begin from where it all started. It basically started from the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb, who was the last Mughal Emperor. He controlled our country till 1707. After 1707, when he died, some Mughal governors and zamindars they started forming their kingdoms in the country itself. Their kingdoms was very powerful and they had just newly started emerging. Delhi was then no longer the center of the country. Now we had kingdoms, we had rulers, and they were all working for their betterment and their power. By the second half of the 18th century, the Britishers they arrived in our country and they started gaining power and they started ruling our country. Now let us see how. Basically, the Britishers means that the East India Company that had entered the country. Now let us understand that how was this East India Company formed. Basically, East India Company was formed with the permission of Queen Elizabeth I. She was the ruler of England and this was all about the year 1600. This East India Company had sole rights to trade with the East. No other companies had the power or the courage to even compete with this East India Company because it had some special powers and it was it had permission by the Queen Elizabeth. What was the special rights and the power? This company could venture across oceans. It could go to any country or across any oceans, and it had all these powers just to buy and to find and to buy goods at a very lower price. Now, no other companies could compete with it because they did not have the rights to sail across the oceans to find places where they could get the goods at a lower price. Now, however, the other companies they did not have such rights, but still the East India Company could not stop any other European companies to enter the market. Alright, so basically we know that the East India Company it began with the permission of Queen Elizabeth. She was the ruler of England and this is all about the year 1600. This East India Company had the sole rights. It was the only company that had the rights to cross oceans, find products at a very lower rate and then trade. The other companies had who did not have such rights were not being able to compete with the East India Company, but the East India Company it couldn't stop the other countries to companies to enter the market. Now, before this is Portuguese had already established. Now when all this was going on, the Portuguese they had already established their base at the west coast of India, Goa. Okay, and this took place before the first. So while the formation of the East India Company was going on and while they were enjoying the sole rights that they had, the Portuguese they had already reached the west coast of India, that is Goa, and had established their base over there. In fact, Vasco da Gama, who was a Portuguese explorer, discovered the sea route to India in the year 1498. Also, the Dutch and the French by the 17th century explored possibilities of trade with India. While the Portuguese, Dutch and the French they were exploring trade, the common products that were being sold or that were in demand from India was cotton, silk, pepper, cloves, cardamom and some more spices. Now since you can see that these were the only products that were very common and that were high in demand, the Portuguese, the Dutch and the French they were all after only these products. So this gave rise to these scenarios. First of all, when the product is common, when the demand of a same product is going on, of course rivals enter. Okay, so this was a rivalry situation created between all the traders. Because of the rivalry situation, the competition of course increased When the competition increased, the prices also increased. Because of the increase of the prices, the profits dropped. Now when the profits dropped, the conflicts arose because all of these countries or all of these people, they had come with the perspective of having some unique products or some great quality products at the least possible price. So when the profits dropped, conflicts arose. Amongst the conflicts, they started sinking each other's ships also, and gradually they started taking political actions in their trade. So this was the situation created only because of the common products that were in demand. Now, next topic is East India Company begins trade with Bengal. How did East India Company started beginning trade with Bengal? The first factory was built on the banks of Hooghly in the year 1651, and Hooghly had now become the base for traders. Hooghly had warehouses and offices of the East India Company. Many traders came there to trade, to talk, or to have some settlements over there, and they gradually started settling at the banks itself. In the year 1696, they built their first fort in Hooghly. After that, 2 years later, they started asking for zamindari rights from the emperors who were ruling Bengal. They also persuaded Aurangzeb to allow duty-free trade. Aurangzeb was also bribed, and he was asked to allow East India Company to have a duty-free trade. Now the allowance was given only for the East India Company, but everyone who was either associated with the company or who was working in the company started carrying on their personal trade in the name of the East India Company, and this started giving rise to a great financial deficit in the country. With this, we are done with the part 1. We have here seen that how Aurangzeb, who was the last ruler, after his death, some Mughal kingdoms were created, which was ruled by Mughal governors and zamindars. These zamindars had very powerful kingdoms, and after the second half of the 18th century, the Britishers, they arrived the country and they started ruling. How was the East India Company formed? East India Company was formed with the permission of Queen Elizabeth. She was the ruler of England, and all this took place in the year 1600. East India Company had sole rights to cross oceans and to trade and to find products at the least possible rates. No other companies could come and compete with the East India Company. However, the East India Company could not stop them to enter the market. We had Portuguese, Dutch and French who had also already explored the west coast of India and some products in India before the East India Company could even reach our country. All of them had some similar common products that they needed for trade, and so this similar products gave rise to rivalry, competition, high price, low profits, which finally led to politics and made the trade dirty. Then we also saw how East India Company entered our country after all this and started trading with the Bengals first. They had their first factory in Hooghly in the year 1651. They had their base of their company over there. The traders came, there were offices, there were warehouses, regular coming, settling was going on, and so the Britishers, they decided that they should have a place to live in Hooghly itself, and so they created their first fort in the year 1696. In the year 1698, that is 2 years later, they asked for zamindari rights by bribing the emperors. They also persuaded Aurangzeb to allow duty-free trade. Aurangzeb was also bribed, and he allowed duty-free trade only to the East India Company. But in the name of East India Company, a lot of people were also carrying on their private